Everybody, today I guess I'll start this off first showing you that butterfly and then telling you about my ongoing project with these thistle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab as much as I can up, and then I'm going to trim the rest of this without getting poked too much. Really should have gloves on, which I of course do not have, because I want to look at and see which of these berry bushes are still doing okay. As you can see, a recent storm kind of blew through and knocked down about half of the thistle. And what I've been watching throughout the years to see how much the shade of that thistle has helped different bushes. So these are boysenberry leaves, and I think some of it actually, there's another boysenberry right here, there's an elderberry back there, and you can see that some of the asparagus has been knocked down. So I'm going to try and just remove this, and maybe a few weeks ago when I saw that they were done flowering, I should have maybe trimmed it back then, but this is all new and I'm not sure how the lifespan of this thistle goes, but some plants I'm going to be keeping an eye on. Some blackberries back here, hopefully you can see those climbing up, and of course I have all sorts of different berry bushes inside, including these strawberries, and of course the grapes that have been overtaking this whole area, especially over on the ground. But so it'll be nice to clean this stuff up and see how the rest of these bushes have they grown enough, and are they sturdy enough to handle the high heat and sun of August. It seems, at least, the boysenberries seem to be doing okay. Alright, this is what we've gotten to. So I topped most of this, and a lot of it kind of fell. I don't know, about maybe 20% actually fell, and the rest of it I got out here, which I'll grab up and I'll just throw it in that compost. So what we're looking at is there's a lot of grape spread from that corner. So when I'm looking at this, I'm just trying to identify whatever isn't a grape, because I know I have like boysenberries here, and there's blackberries, there's some elderberries throughout there. So we'll have to get pretty deep down into it. So you can see there are boysenberries here, and then hopefully this asparagus has gotten enough energy. Then we have possibly blackberries here. And even though a lot of these canes are over, it'll be able to grow through, as you can see. And we're just identifying the different leaves that are here. I'm not too sure about how well things are going here. I'd have to look at an older video to see all the different things I planted, but now that they're exposed to sun, we'll see what kind of pops out. For example, these here, which I'm not sure what kind of berry they are, but I'm pretty sure they're not grapes. But if they are grapes, then that's fine. I wish I could identify all these things better. However, I just want to plant and see what can grow. So here's another plant, berry plant that has come up, and that's doing just fine. Also, like I said, these strawberries, you see these strawberries, the leaves are getting plenty of sun, even more sun now. And then I think this is a blackberry. You see how tall that is. And for each one that we identify, basically I planted 3 to 5 of each one. So some of this stuff you may not be able to see just now, but as this stuff dies down, this thistle and these take their place as the dominant plants in this little ecosystem, then we'll be able to see more of what we have. So as you can see, there's plenty of grapes coming through, and I kind of want grapes. I didn't plant them, so they're going to be a really good variety or not, I'm not sure, but They seem to want to live everywhere, so we'll let it do it and maybe add some structure to this fence here. So this is something that we'll look at as we go and see how things turn out. Now in the cleaner part of the garden, I have a lot going on here. This is turned into a pretty wild little corner here. I've planted most of this stuff, like these berries I planted. See if we can find the tag here. Of course not. This is a currant that I planted. This is actually a vegetable that I planted. Look at that. That looked delicious. So we got tomatoes that actually sprung up from that random seeding experiment that we had. Of course, the pear tree is doing lovely, as well as asparagus. And then we have arugula. That's what this huge thing is. That's purple coneflower from my local. I want to say these are lingonberries. That's what the type of strawberry mixture they are. And of course, there's some sort of something growing up here. I don't know if this is nasturtium or that's another vegetable or what, but and whatever this was, apparently a plant really, or an animal really liked that. But then of course we have a comfrey, more currants, another flower that I planted from the local. We'll take a look at what it is. Monarch. Oh, it's bergamot. That's bergamot. There's a aronia berry bush, along with another aronia berry bush right there. It just keeps going on. Of course, violets are kind of coming into play. We have zucchinis that have popped up. And of course our lost gooseberry. However, we got another gooseberry that's struggling to live here. And on it goes. I'll show you down here. So their tree is doing really well, as well as the pine berries that I planted. Right there. And there you can see the tag. And of course we have the Hascap trio here. Hopefully we'll see fruit on those in the spring. We'll see if they get big enough this year. And down to asparagus. This is a lot neater. So we have asparagus, strawberries, and elderberry, mixed with some other random vegetable that I planted. And then down to another elderberry. And then, like I said, I planted random vegetable seeds everywhere. And we have right up front some zucchini that are growing. So that'll be fun to watch. And it's really nice that, like this anise hyssop that I planted. And then we have a lot more flowers for pollinators and such. And rounding off the little tour here, you can see that most of my Comfrey Wall has sprouted. It started right around here where you can see when it's popped up. It goes all the way around. A couple of blank spots, but all we got to do to divide them is just cut the root system and it'll divide. So this is a nice start to getting that be a rhizome barrier, so all these grasses don't creep into here. And of course our greatest pear tree, in a very happy spot. So that's all I have today. Thank you all for watching, and keep an eye out for future videos. Come back in about a week and we'll see Just how much, I want to say it's a blackberry. See how much this blackberry has sprung up or grown or browned. And then we'll also look out for, whatever this is, if that will keep going. But most importantly, I want to see how these boysenberries, how they spread. It'll be interesting to see, especially to see how this walking onion, how this bounces back. Will it regrow this year, or will we wait for it for next year? The asparagus even though they're laying down, they're getting all the sun to put back into the crown, so I'm not worried about those. But this is an experiment to see, can we use the natural thistle that are growing up to protect and help some of these smaller plants to get started and then grow on their own. So thanks again for watching. I got some cleanup to do. All right, bye-bye.